Welcome back to another episode of Down in 216. Hope it's by your boy Will here, man. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling today as we get into another interesting video topic? Now, look, so we're going to be going over and talking about some Cleveland Browns football today. And this video is going to be about who you guys think will end up winning the quarterback competition. I'm going to sit through and go through some of my ideas and how I feel about it. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. But we're going to go through this video. First off, let's start off with Dillon Gabriel. Some of you guys already know how I feel about Dillon Gabriel. Excuse the background music. The background stuff in my videos. It's a little loud around my building, but yeah, Dillon Gabriel. I'm not too high on him. You know, a lot of people think he's decent. He got a lot of arm talent. Says Tony Grossi. He looks pretty good. I think Dillon Gabriel will not be a starter on this team. Not no time soon. Maybe he gets a start at the end of the year. If a couple injuries go down, we end up seeing Dillon Gabriel, something like that. Maybe somebody go down in camp. But I don't think Dillon Gabriel will end up being a starter, you know. So I think that Dillon is a little bit. I think he was kind of overdrafted, honestly. I said that at the time of when it happened. I'm not too fond of him. I think he's going to be okay in the league, but I think he's a bona fide backup. I don't think it's very likely for him to out-compete 4 different guys that all have different skill sets. And, you know, Kenny Pickett's a former first-round pick. Joe Flacco is Joe Flacco, Super Bowl winner Joe Flacco. And then you got Shedeur Sanders, who was projected to go in the first round. So a lot of arm talent and a lot of talent on this team. And I'm not saying like talent as in like Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa. I'm not saying talent like that. I'm saying talent as if comparing to Dillon Gabriel. It's a lot of talent. And I think that he's probably the least person likely to start. So we're going to put Dillon Gabriel 4th on our list. All right, so number 3. I think number 3 is going to surprise you guys just a little bit. And I don't mind being wrong. I think number 3 is going to end up being Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett was pretty protected by Mike Tomlin, by the Eagles. And now you put Kenny Pickett around pretty much nothing, and you expecting him to, blossom? Or how can Kenny Pickett raise the talent around him at all? No offense to Kenny Pickett, but I just don't see how you can expect him out of all 4 of the quarterbacks around. Why would you expect Kenny Pickett to be the one guy that's going to raise the talent of Jerry Jeudy, raise the talent of David Njoku, make Hendon Fenner Jr. have a good year? I don't think that'd be the reason from Kenny Pickett. I just don't see that happening. You know, maybe I'm wrong. And if we look up and, you know, 5 months from now and Kenny Pickett's a starter, he's playing good, and Browns win game, keep big, I just say I was wrong. You know, I say, yeah, I ain't see that one coming. You know, I thought it was unlikely. I say the same shit for Dillon Gabriel. I think Kenny Pickett is just not that good. Call a spade a spade. I'll be kind of very upfront and honest with y'all how I feel about quarterbacks. I think he's had enough time. I think he's a good quarter. I think he's a C passable quarterback. When he's brought in the right situations, he could win a game. He could be the team he's supposed to be. He's not gonna sink your team if you're a good team. I think Kenny Pickett could come in there for the 49ers and win a game. He could come in there for the Lions and win a game. He could come in there for the Eagles and win a game. So, you know, I think he's decent as far as that. But anything outside of that, no. You know what I'm saying? Anything outside of winning a game on a good team and being contingent on a good team, no, I think he's going to be dependent on his talent around him. And the talent around him, you know, to be kind of honest with you guys, isn't viewed as one of the best talents in the league. We're actually viewed as one of the worst offenses. We had the worst ranked offense, just number and statistic-wise. So you're telling me you're putting Kenny Pickett? This video is sponsored by Detrimental Figures, my brand here. As y'all see, some of the quality of my recent work. You get a signature tag on it as well. You know, we make and really emphasize quality over quantity. So, you know, we try to take and make sure we use the best materials to come up with our shirts and the best designs. Make sure y'all following us on Instagram, Detrimental Figures. So y'all can also get the description down below and hit the link for a shirt. Everything I drop is limited edition. So unfortunately, this shirt is sold out. I don't have any more, but I have different things coming up similar to it. So keep in mind, and I'll keep you guys updated with some of my new stuff throughout these videos coming up. It was just pretty much protected by Pittsburgh and on a top 5 offense in the Eagles to the worst offense in the NFL. And he's not going to raise any talent, so if they're already the worst, I think we're going to get probably that same type of quarterback play out of Kenny Pickett. That'd be what I would see from him, you know. I know he's a former first-round pick. I think we kind of make too much into that, you know. I think we kind of take too much into that. Because, you know, Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis still kind of seem like the same level of talent of a player. And Malik Willis went in, like, what, the 2nd or 3rd round? So Kenny Pickett could have won in the 2nd or 3rd round. And we all know that. He was a late first-round pick, if anything. So, yeah, I think that's really the only thing you can hang your hat on with Kenny Pickett, that he was a first-round pick. Like, which is Mike Tomlin. You feel what I'm saying? You know, like, he's been protected by Mike Tomlin this whole time. I'm not saying he's trash. You know, I'm not going to call him or disrespect him. I respect him as a player. But he's not raising the talent of a bad team. We're already a 32nd ranked team. I'm not about to expect Kenny Pickett to make us the 30th. We're going to still be trash. We're going to get DTR level of play out of Kenny Pickett. So I think Kenny Pickett is going to get traded. I think Kenny Pickett is brought here to get traded. I think if you would have had DTR rather than Kenny Pickett in this scenario, it would have been much harder. You would have cut DTR. No doubt. DTR probably wouldn't have beat Dillon Gabriel. He probably wouldn't have beat Shedeur Sanders. And he probably wouldn't have beat Joe Flacco. He probably won't beat Deshaun Watson. So, you got Kenny Pickett, who you could probably move for something else. So, we're going to see what they can do. You know what I'm saying? I think they are capable of probably trading him for like a 7th, and then maybe you get like a 5th and a 7th out of it or some shit. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But number 2, Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to have a lot of momentum behind him. I think he's going to probably end up having a good training camp. And when we get to the preseason, what is very funny about this Shedeur Sanders not getting practice reps thing is when we get to the preseason, let's sit back and think. Who plays the most in the preseason? The 4th string quarterback. He's going to be nothing but put on TV, put on highlights. Everybody's going to be watching it come August. Shedeur Sanders is going to be must-see TV on the preseason. Must-see TV. Why? Because he's going to be out there. Because he's going to be low on the depth chart. He's going to be able to rise on the depth chart just with his play. I think that's going to be where he's still the show. And I predict Shedeur Sanders to come in and end up being the backup to Joe Flacco. And the reason why I'm going to go with Joe Flacco and Joe Cool is I think Joe Flacco has already earned the trust from Kevin Stefanski. I think Shedeur Sanders is earning the trust. He already talked about them in a group. He already said, no, they sit next to each other, blah, they skippity skip. I don't think they did that on accident. You know what I'm saying? They sit with Kevin Stefanski and fucking Joe Flacco. I don't think they did that on accident. So I would say that I think Joe Flacco will end up being a starter of this team. You don't really got to see much from Joe Flacco, man. He already done proved that he could play. He already done showed what he could do. You really just need him to get to the finish line. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's going to be really the biggest thing for him, getting to the finish line and being able to play. But I don't think Joe Flacco is going to be able to contend for a whole season. I think he's going to have a 3-interception game. And when that's coming, everybody's going to be screaming, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. So that's why I think Shedeur's going to end up being a backup. You're going to probably have Dillon Gabriel in there. But y'all got to think, like, y'all got to, that's why I say some of this is very, very overreacting. Because you got to think, when actual live football is played, we're going to ridicule the quarterback regardless. of what's going on. If Joe Flacco plays back, we're going to kill him. If Shedeur Sanders plays back, we're going to kill him. If Dillon Gabriel plays back, they're going to boo the out of Dillon Gabriel and Kevin Stefanski if they send him out there and he doesn't look good. We got to understand that. We got to understand that. So, the same for Kenny Pickett. We got to understand that. So, at the end of the day, it's not like everybody going to play the whole it's not like the starter going to play the whole preseason. And if the starter not going to play the whole preseason, we're going to see 12 and we're going to see Dillon Gabriel. So, we're going to see what's going to happen, man. The football play, I think, is going to be the biggest determination. We getting the reports out of camp. We seeing how it's looking. So, these are very wide predictions. But we're going to see, man. I don't know. Y'all comment down below. Who y'all think going to be the quarterback competition? Put y'all ranking from 4 through 1. Where you think they're going to end up falling on the depth chart. It's your boy Will. It's down in 2 and 6. I'm out.